Alright, it's BLM here, and I'm going to do my PS2 collection now, which is my biggest collection. I have 30 games, which still isn't that much, but still, so the first game is Aggressive Inline. It's sort of like a rip-off of Tony Hawk, but with inline skates, basically. But it actually changed the formula by giving you like free roamings, like I don't know what you call it, like in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, where you can just skate wherever, which Tony Hawk then used, because this is before Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. But yeah, this is a pretty good game. Then ATV Off-Road Fury. It's pretty. It's a decent game. I played this when I was really little. I mean, when I was like 7. And I had a lot of fun with it. Yeah, it's like, it was really fun when I was a kid, just doing tricks and jumping off cliffs and stuff like that. ATV Off-Road Fury 2. I bought this the day it came out, and I was really disappointed. In my opinion, it's not nearly as good as the first one. It's just not as fun. I don't know why. This is my parents' game. It's Dance Factory. It's like Dance Revolution. Dark Cloud. It's an which is an action RPG. I'm not a big fan of action RPGs though, so I didn't get that far into it. But yeah, everyone says it's a great game. I just haven't played it that much. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. What should I say about that? Well, when I first played it, it was really, well, I first had it for the GameCube, because that was my primary system at the time, and it was really fun. Because I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z, and that it was sort of amazing, just because this followed the same story and everything. Better than the second one. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, which is, in my opinion, the best Dragon Ball Z game ever released. It's a great fighting game. If it didn't have the Dragon Ball Z title in it, it would still be a great game. It's just the fighting system is really, yeah. Tenkaichi. I'm not a big fan of this. In my opinion, the worst of the Tenkaichi series. I don't like the change they made with the gameplay and everything. Also, like the health bars, they're like structured differently. So like if you get hit, like it just only goes down like a little. Whatever. Not that great of a game. Tenkaichi 2. This one is great. I mean, this is my favorite Tenkaichi series, because I don't know why. Like Tenkaichi 2 and Tenkaichi 3 are basically the same game. But I just like the way that they did the story mode in this one. Rather than Tenkaichi 3, you just like go through battle to battle and stuff like that. And Tenkaichi 3 with the bonus disc, which is, I think it's the top 10 best fights or something like that. Alright, yeah, as I said, it's basically the same game as Tenkaichi 2. I didn't like the way that they did the story mode in this one. Like you have to push R3 to continue the story, which like made another character pop up and stuff. Yeah, I didn't like that. Alright, Dragon Ball Z Saga is a terrible game. They try to make Dragon Ball Z become like an action adventure game, which epically failed, as this game, it's just terrible. I mean, like the camera is so like stupid. But yeah, Dynasty Warriors 3, great game. This was my first PS2 game, I think. Yeah, I think it came from my PS2. Um, it's really repetitive, but it's still fun for the first couple hours that you play it. Um, Gran Turismo 3, not a big fan. Not a fan of the Gran Turismo series, and my opinion is just kind of boring. Like simulators and driving simulators, they're just kind of plain and boring. GTA 3, one of my favorite PS2 games. Very revolutionary for its time. People say that GTA 4 is the best GTA, but I highly disagree. I didn't like the changes they made in GTA 4. But I do agree that San Andreas is better than 3. A lot of people say that. Guitar Hero World Tour. This is my only Guitar Hero game. I actually still have the guitar in its box and everything because I never play it. Not a big fan of Guitar Hero. It's a rock band. It is fun, like, for the first couple hours to play it though. And good to play with friends. Haven, Call of the King. Pretty good platformer. It like mixes up like different elements, like I think it's even called freeformer gameplay. Like it has platforming, fighting, racing, shooting, flying, gliding, boating. Wow, dog fighting with no load times. Yeah, pretty good game. Very overlooked in my opinion. Another one of my favorite PS2 games, Jak and Daxter. Great game. Those that haven't played it and love platformers need to, because this is probably the best platformer not made by Nintendo. Maybe Sega too, I'm not sure. Because Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a great game. I'm not sure if it's better than this or not. I've overlooked the game. Metal Arms glitching the system. I was gonna buy this on launch day, like the day it came out, but then I completely forgot about it. I just recently bought it, like a few weeks ago. No, probably like a few months ago, actually. Or was it weeks ago? I think it was in my first collection update, but yeah, it's a great game, very overlooked. It's for all three of the last gen consoles. I mean, three major ones, because the Dreamcast is technically last gen, but I mean, for GameCube, PS2, and Xbox, and if you have any of those systems, you should pick it up if you ever see it. Great game, which is Metal Gear Solid 2. Fantastic game, very cinematic, had fantastic graphics for its time. Now they don't look so great, but they're still pretty good. Yeah, probably the best Metal Gear Solid. I know a lot of people say 4 is, but I played 4 and I'm not that huge of a fan of it. And I didn't like 3. 1 was great, but I liked the second one better. NBA Street Volume 2. Great basketball game. Very arcadey. Reminds me of NBA Jam. What else can we say? It's a great game. Right now is my favorite game of the entire generation. It's just a fantastic game. Here, Resident Evil 4. Great. It's just I didn't like the first 3 Resident Evils, but I really love this game. I took out all the horror and everything, and replaced it with action, adventure, shooting, and stuff like that. It's just really awesome. Anyone that hasn't played the game and has a GameCube, PS2, or Wii needs to. Rygar. Reminds me a lot of God of War. Yeah, you even have a shield that swings around that resembles the blades in God of War and stuff. Um, and it also takes place in Greek mythology. So this is like, I think God of War ripped off Rygar in almost every single way. But yeah. Oh yeah, it was remade for the Wii also. Yeah. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Great game, great platformer. If I had a PS3, I would get the Sly Cooper collection or whatever it is that's coming out, because I love the Sly games. I mean, at least the first two. I never played the third one, but yeah, it's a great platformer with weird animals that you would never ever see talk. SSX Tricky, probably the best snowboarding game of all time. It's just really fun. Way better than Shaun White snowboarding and stuff like that. It's just really fun, really addicting. I played this for about 50 hours probably. I completed every single little thing. It's a great game. Alright, almost done here. Tekken Tag Tournament, great fighting game. Not the best Tekken, because Tekken 2 and 5 are, in my opinion, the best ones, but it's still a great game. Oh, and Tekken 4 is pretty good too. Yeah, great game. I think it was a launch game. Now, the next game is a terrible game. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. This game is terrible. I mean, the 360 version is good, but this one's terrible. The frame rate is so horrendous. I mean, you play it, it's like you're like watching like a YouTube video with 20 pages open or something. Like, it's like really terrible. Splinter Cell, Splinter Cell Pandora Tomorrow, great game. This is the first Splinter Cell game that I will have. I played the first one. But, yeah, this is really fun. I didn't get too far in it, but still a really great game. Tony Hawk's Project 8. I'm planning to get this for 360 sometime, because the 360 version is very superior to this, because this one has loading times and it's kind of annoying. But yeah, it's still a great game. I like to nail the trick. And since I'm on a quest to own every main series Tony Hawk game, because I own them all but Ride, I have Proving Ground, which is a terrible game. In my opinion, this is where the series truly went downhill. People say that after Tony Hawk 4, I think they said. Yeah, after Tony Hawk 4 went downhill. But I actually liked Underground and American Wasteland, and I like Project 8. But Proving Ground, in my opinion, is just the worst Tony Hawk game at the time, because now Ride is really terrible. But this is my second least favorite. And the last game is Virtua Fighter 4 Evolution, which is probably the best fighting game you can get for PS2, except for Soul Calibur 2, because Soul Calibur 2 is my favorite PS2 game of all time. Favorite fighting game of all time, and it's just really great. But yeah, Virtua Fighter. So I don't know if I can show you all of this at once, but I'll show you. Alright. Here's my collection. Yep, that's my collection. I have 30 games, and eventually I plan to get God of War, because I really want that game. That and Prince of Persia, but I'm going to get an Xbox soon, and I'm thinking of getting Prince of Persia for the Xbox. I'm not sure which system I want to get it for. But yeah, alright. That's my PS2 collection, and thanks for watching.